darlings. I hope you're doing very well. Welcome to a new episode of Don't Hold Me Back, the first podcast created with and for people with learning disabilities. My name is Jules de Bellis. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be your host. Today is a very special episode. It's actually some sort of a special edition because today is the beginning of LD Week, Learning Disability Week. So today we're going to talk about that. As usual, I'm not going to be alone because today I have not one, but two experts by experience. So please welcome Victoria and Lloyd. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Fine, thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Victoria. I'm an expert by experience at the Elfrida Society, and I'm a community consultant.
Thank you, Victoria.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Lloyd. I work for the Experts by Experience at the Elfrida Society. I've been doing that for a good while. I love my job, and I support the best football team in the world, which is Arsenal, and you know the rest.
All right, thank you, Lloyd, and thank you, Victoria. So let's get into today's topic, which is LD Week, Learning Disability Week. What's Learning Disability Week for those that don't know what it is?
Victoria, do you want to explain or shall I explain?
You explain.
Well, I'll try and explain it to the best I can. Like, it's basically like the week where people like with learning disabilities and that get recognised, and like they hold events for us. And that, like, for example, like Elfrida have got their big sports day coming up on Tuesday over Highbury Fields. Like, we want everybody to attend, like, because it's a day like for people like with learning difficulties and that to get to be recognised and who we are in the community, that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
It's very exciting because not only that's going on, there'll be events like going on like throughout the whole week. Like there'll be events at the Daylight Centre, there'll be events here, the events there, and here, there, and everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So it's good that they hold this week, like it gets people recognised.
Yeah, and Victoria, why do you think having a Learning Disability Week is important?
It's important. Having learning disability week is important for people with learning disability to be recognised by other people that don't have, and see the differences on how other people with the same condition they have or a different condition, like learning a difficulty, they can see how they can learn from each other, to learn differently from each other and listen in.
I was going to say, like with learning disability weeks, well, I think they should do it for an extra week. It should be 2 weeks instead of a week. I mean, give us more time, like, do you know what I mean? Instead of a week, like, let's give us 2 weeks. So if anyone can sort that out, give us 2 weeks, then that'd be welcomed.
Well, that would be very nice, of course. Something that I would like to add as well is that Learning Disability Week is not something that happens only in Islington, where Elfrida is based. It's something that is celebrated nationwide. So probably in most places in the UK, they're going to do activities for LD Week. So I would suggest to get in touch with your local authority or with the charities where you live to get information about what they're doing for LD Week. And if they're not doing anything and you have the opportunity to travel, you can always come to Islington because we're going to do loads of fun activities together. Something that I would like to cover as well with you guys today, and I think that LD Week is the right occasion to talk about it, is the LD Register. Do you know what the LD Register is?
Yeah, we've been talking about it in our group, but not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I don't.
I don't even know about it.
You don't? Okay. So the LD Register or Learning Disability Register is a list of people with a learning disability that a GP surgery looks after. So being in the LD Register means that you have access to annual health checks for everyone that is 14 and above. You get free flu jabs, and in general, you can get like proper annual health care with some sort of like regular appointments and those kind of things. Something that I believe is very important to mention is that it's not compulsory to be on the learning disability register, but it's an opportunity, and that you don't need to have a formal diagnosis to be on that register. Why do you think it's important, an LD register, Victoria and Lloyd?
Sure, I don't know.
I think it's important to let, not to let your doctors know, but it's to to communicate with your doctor that you have this and this condition, and that you need special readjustments. To communicate with your doctor about any reasonable adjustment that you need, especially a longer time period for the appointments and such.
Yeah, absolutely right. And as we have discussed in the very first episode of this podcast, unfortunately, people with learning disabilities tend to have an expected lifespan shorter than neurotypical people. And that's not because of their conditions, but because they are treated differently by medical professionals. So being on the learning disability register, as you just said, means, for example, asking for reasonable adjustments, getting longer appointments, and that means that you get a better healthcare, which is super important. Something that I would like to add is that
question.
Yeah.
Who put this learning difficulties registered together anyway? Is it because it's like they got so many people to deal with, they just have to put them all on one list?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like, how come they put a register together in the first place? Like, is it because like they've got so many people to deal with?
I don't think that that's the case. I think that because most of the time people get onto the learning disability list because they already have a formal diagnosis, and therefore the local authorities are giving notification to the GP saying, hey, this person has a learning disability, so they are eligible to get like reasonable adjustments, longer appointments, and those kind of things. So annual health checks, free flu jabs, and those kind of things. The point is that there are so many people that actually have learning disabilities that they don't have a formal diagnosis for many different reasons. And so asking your GP to be into the learning disability register, even without a formal diagnosis, actually helps you to get better care, because also the diagnostic elements to get a diagnosis for learning disabilities might be a little bit too strict for some people that would really need some extra support, but they're not eligible to get like a formal diagnosis. So being into this register would actually allow them to get better healthcare. And this is something that I really want to advocate for during Learning Disability Week, because it's important to take care of prevention nationwide for people with learning disabilities. Being added into a learning disability register is actually very easy, because if this process is not automatic because you don't have a formal diagnosis, you can always write a letter to your GP surgery. You don't have to write the letter yourself. I'm gonna put the links in the description box below. There's some sort of like form that you can fill on Mencap website. You fill the form with all your information. Of course, if you're not able to do it yourself, you can always ask some family carers or advocates like us at Elfrida to help you do it. So you put all your information and the system builds a letter for you automatically with your information. You can either download the letter and print it yourself and bring it to your GP, or you can email the letter to your doctor. yourself, or you can ask Mencap to print out the letter and post it to you, and then you can bring it to your GP. So it's a bit like complicated, but it's not like super difficult. And in case of need, you can always ask us at Elfrida to support you. But I'm gonna put all the links below. So yeah, that's it. All right. So if that's it, I really want to thank you, Victoria and Lloyd, for being my co-hosts for this very short and special episode for LD Week. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully I'll see you again for other episodes.
Hopefully.
So this was a very special episode for Learning Disability Week of Don't Hold Me Back podcast. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.